Today I'm be providing you some top tips to help you beat Dead Space. Tip number 1, for dark areas, while you are not zoomed in, you can't see shit. But when you zoom in with your flashlight, you can very easily see what you need to shoot. So while you're going around corners, it is a really good idea to have your flashlight out. Tip number 2, stasis recharge. Abuse them. When you know you have a station recharge near you, use it. Go kill the enemies in the next section, go back and recharge. When you have that, you just have some easy pickings on the next few enemies in that section, because you can just go right back and recharge your power for free. Tip number 3, explosive canisters. These things pack a serious punch, and wherever you see an explosive canister, there is an enemy somewhere nearby you can use it on. Sometimes they're behind doors. So what you want to do is open the door and quickly pick it up, and then you can throw it. You have infinite energy to pick these canisters up, so you can walk around with them. When you see several canisters, like multiple canisters, 2, 3, 4 canisters, then you obviously are about to have a huge battle, in which case find out where the battle is. Obviously save your game first, find out where the battle is, and then reload and put all the canisters so you can just pick off the first couple enemies really quick. As you can see, it packs a serious punch. There's very little that won't die from a direct hit with an explosive canister, so they are definitely worth utilizing. Tip number 4, if you don't want to be strapped for inventory and ammo, whenever it tells you to go one way for your objective, make sure you check other paths and you look for anything that lights up blue. Sometimes they are cabinets like this, sometimes it's a cabinet on the wall, sometimes it's a crate that you need to smash open, or you just walked up to and hit A. Here are some examples of what I was talking about. So like these, you kick. This one you just walk up to. You're looking for anything that has lights on it. Also make sure to take a look in corners of rooms, because sometimes there are very good items just laying around behind something or in that corner. So make sure to check every corner and you won't have any problem with weapon ammo or health, provided you don't take too much damage. Tip number 5, using the right ammo type on each enemy. So for an enemy like this one, that the plasma cutter does very good damage and kills within a couple of shots, we can use the plasma cutter. If that enemy would have taken like 6+ shots with the plasma cutter, but we can take it out with one ripper shot, that's what we want to use. Now for these little dudes, the flamethrower is excellent. Using the plasma cutter here would be a huge mistake, be wasting ammo. Using the pulse rifle isn't that bad. Line them up and take them out. But you want to use your heavy hitting weapons when it's going to take you multiple plasma shots, and when you do have those couple enemies you can easily bring down, then you break out your plasma cutter to take those out. When you got grouped up enemies, the little dudes, as you saw, the flamethrower is excellent for them. Very controlled fire on the pulse rifle is very good as well. Doing this using the right ammo for each enemy will drastically conserve how much ammo you use and will make your game much easier because you'll have much more ammo when you need it. Tip number 6, save frequently. Now, Dead Space Remake might allow you to save whenever through the start function of the game or pause function of the game, but whether you have the save on the wall or the ability to save whenever, saving with at least 2 to 3 save files will allow you to go back whenever you get ambushed, because a lot of times you'll have an enemy spawn right in behind you and that enemy can fuck you up quick if you don't know about it and you can't get out of there. So having multiple save files and saving frequently, if you do get fucked up in a battle, now you know the exact enemy positions, where they spawn in, and you will do much better on your second attempt of the battle and can minimize how many times you have to use healing items and how much ammo you use, because you'll get those precise shots off knowing exactly where the enemies spawn. Tip number 7 could very easily be tip number 1 because of how important it is. This is not a game where headshots make a difference. If you're not going for limb shots, you are going to spend 3 times the ammo or more trying to kill enemies, and you're going to run out of ammo. What you're aiming for is tentacles, arms. You'll notice it on different enemies, but that's what we're aiming for, are limb shots. And that is how you bring down enemies. I could have easily spent 20 shots shooting that dude in the chest and the head and not killed him. But I managed to kill 2 little dudes, miss a couple of shots, and still take him out with 10 shots. 10 shots for taking him out. It was a little high, it wasn't perfect, but it is very important that you go for the limbs. That is the weak spot. All those head and bodies and just dumping clips into big enemies will not kill them. Go for legs, arms, tentacles, anything that looks like that is what you want to shoot. Tip number 8. You want to save your stasis power for ambushes where you have 5 or more enemies. In like chapter 1, the beginning of chapter 2, you can use it when you get like 2 or 3 enemies or to take out that one big enemy. But other than that, once you get going in the game, you only want to use your stasis power for moving objectives, doors and that you have to slow down, and for when you have like 5+ enemies ambushing you. You really need your stasis power in those situations, and if you're using it on those 1 to 3 enemies that you could drop without it, then you're going to have a rough time when you get to fighting 5 or 10 enemies in a small room and you have no option to slow down any of the enemies. Tip number 9, whether you fire 1, 2, 3, or you fired all your rounds in all your guns, make sure to reload all your guns after every engagement, so you don't need to unnecessarily reload your guns early. Also, so you get to carry the most amount in inventory, don't carry excess ammo. Make sure to move your excess ammo over to your stash whenever possible. There is no need for me right now to have 60 plasma rounds. I could easily have 25 and move the excess over to the stash, or at most carry 1 full stack of each type of weapon and 1 additional stack. Once you get to the point of having 2 stacks, you should be moving any additional ammo over to your stash. Our last and final tip is to always keep at least 1 node on you. It might be tempting to spend all your nodes if it might get you that 1 extra damage and carry 0 nodes on you, but then it might be hard to get the next node. You might have to sell inventory that you really don't want to sell in order to open one of these doors or miss one of these doors. which can be even worse because they generally carry weapon upgrades, schematic upgrades. Now this store doesn't. So another tip on top of this is to save your game prior to opening one of these doors. So in case you don't get what you want, you can just reload the save and not waste the node. Now it's also RNG which you get in the original Dead Space, so I'm not sure if the remake is going to change. But here we have 4 Ripper Blades, 6 Plasma, Flame Fuel, and 25 post rounds. So that was only like 6 grand worth of stuff. Generally, most stores you are going to net around 10,000 or near 10,000 and a schematic. This was one of the worst stores in the game to open, very low loot, but it does not change the fact that if I didn't have a node available, I would not have known that, and I could have potentially missed out on something great. So I can reload my save right now because I already have ammo and I don't need that. But always keep one node on you so you can check all those doors and you do get all the upgrades in the game. And many times rooms can carry over 10,000 worth of stuff, and then you can just buy a node and have extra inventory. And those are 10 top tips to help you beat Dead Space. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, share, comment. It helps others find the video. I hope this helped.